everybody. Hey everybody. I'm gonna turn this light over quick. So the lights that you're gonna see are the window, and then also behind me is the door. So if you see lights randomly somewhat, or there's a little bit of a fuzzing, like in this corner, it's for those reasons. You will see my dogs walk past and the cat moving around some. So any movement other than the pets running around randomly, let me know if you see anything. Drop a comment. I am new to recording and putting stuff on YouTube. I've had a lot of experiences. I'll give you a little bit of a background on me. Alright, what's up? So, hi, I'm Michaela. If you see lights, it's going to be the window. Sorry, sometimes I forget words. I'll explain that in a second. I'll give you all a little bit of a background on me. A little intros, because this is my first video to be doing pretty much. The light behind me is from the door. We have sliding glass doors. Movement you're going to see is this guy a lot of times. That's Rebel, our German Shepherd. The cat, who they are going to be at it sometimes off and on. That's Lily, our Tortie. And then over here, this little one here, up here, that is Ayana. I love Max. So movements that you're going to see are possibly going to be from the dogs. A little intro. My name is Michaela. Currently we are in Texas. My husband is military, so we travel a lot. We live on post at Fort Hood. Big thing is that if you've heard of Fort Hood, if you've heard of the housing here, a lot of stories of seeing shadows, hearing noises in the houses, especially living on post, which we do. Our house is on post. So you may also hear in our background, you might hear helicopters going by, or there might be, because we're very close to the airport. Clean Airport is just a couple miles down the road, and we literally have the commercial airlines flying right over the house. Only a few hundred feet in the air, so it can be very loud. So, which I believe my cat just went upstairs. So if you hear noises, it's going to be louder noises. If you hear knocking and things like that, let me know. Most of them can probably be disproved, because I know my cat just went upstairs. The stairs do creak quite a bit. I'm going to do a couple of videos, probably back to back, over the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, recording a couple of videos around the house. We have actually lived in this house for a little over 3 years, and personally I've had a lot of experiences, and most of them are when my son is asleep, when my husband is out trading. We have not always had neighbors on either side of us, because we live in a multi-house, family house setting. So I have neighbors on either side of us, and the walls are super thin. They're 1950s homes. The walls are super thin, so you can hear, even to the point of one night, I could hear my neighbor's cell phone vibrating in their kitchen and my kitchen. So that gives you a little info. If you hear certain things, it could be the neighbors, or it could be sounds in the house. There are certain sounds that I have heard throughout the house, especially when my husband is deployed at night. Before we got our cat, the cat's room that she is in now, which I will show you guys at some point when I do a little walkthrough of the house, in another video. But in our cat's room, it's actually our cat room, guest room, multi-purpose room. But in her room, sorry I'm babbling, I'll get to that in a second too. But in her room, it's right next to the master room. And where our bed is right, like our bed is here and the wall is here between us, between the rooms. And so whenever I'm laying down with my head against the wall pretty much, I've heard knocks, I've heard tapping, I've heard voices in that room. My hardest part a lot of nights, especially if my husband isn't even here in our living room, which, yes, welcome to the house, our wonderful living room area. Sorry for some of the mess we're reorganizing. There's our little extra room where the dogs also sleep and stay, which, oh, he's by the door. There's our back door. That's my husband's gaming chair that he likes to sit in. It's an office chair. But he uses that for gaming because it's a lot more comfortable. If you notice, we don't have a lot of furniture right now as far as like sitting furniture because we got rid of our couch and our chair recently. But this is our living room, and I love my little area. If you see up here, other than my candy stuff, yes, I did Christmas shopping with our, you know, the whole after Christmas shopping stuff, and they have candy for sale. I bought candy. Sorry for the way I look as well. Allergies. My makeup was not going to be staying if I tried to do makeup. My allergies have been giving me crud lately. So, not doing makeup at all. And I also have my glasses on today. In other videos, you'll see me having my contacts in, which my contacts are blue. So you'll definitely be seeing a difference. But up here are my wonderful rocks. I have my quartz. Actually, my name tag that I have up here is hiding one of my pretties as well. I love my super shinies. My rocks are absolutely wonderful. I love them very much. They are very special to me. They go everywhere that I go, wherever we move. I always keep them, especially in our living room or in a main part of the house that we are in quite often. The reason I have this like this is it's the only place it'll stand right now. I'm using my tablet. It's the only place it'll stand up for right now. I will probably be getting more equipment at some point. I do have a camera, but they're all out in the car right now, along with my tripod. Because I did pictures recently, I am also a photographer, so doing multiple things. So to explain some of my babbling sometimes, I'm actually not going to be editing my videos. Because I want to also bring awareness, not just to paranormal and the other side and all of that wonderful stuff, that if you are watching this, you appreciate a lot of things. But I am also autistic. I'm on the spectrum. I'm a high-functioning autistic, and it causes me to have moments where I have super sensitivity to things, especially sounds. Textures is a really big thing for me. I can't do certain material textures. Even bigger than that, though, is food textures. There's a lot of food textures I can't do at all. At all. My foods cannot touch whatsoever. I just, the biggest thing that everybody always notices, especially, is if you have a veggie that has, like, the liquid, like green beans in a can. I don't like green beans in a can anymore at all, but people don't know how to drain veggies always, so there is that liquid that kind of spreads, and it literally makes my skin crawl. and I will take a paper towel and cover my green beans for like a whole minute and try and dry out my plate so there's no liquid anywhere else on my plate. Everything has to be separated. Casseroles, yes, I can eat casseroles. It's all together. It's all one meal. But if you have salad, veggies, and meat, everything has its own place. Everything has to be separate. If I could, I would actually have everything in their own separate bowls or on separate plates. And I'd be fine like that. I also repeat stuff quite a bit. I have tics that don't happen always, but I do feel them. I don't always let them happen. I'm also diagnosed with severe anxiety and severe depression. I am medicated for that. Joy. I just, in the last 2 years, actually went to the doctor and said I need help. Live with it my entire life, have a lot of struggles that I've dealt with over the years. But I'm now getting comfortable in my own skin again, taking medications. It's not for everybody. Same with, I don't talk to a therapist. I don't talk to people about my problems very often. I would partially say that's how I grew up, but I don't want to use excuses for it. It's a personal comfort thing. I don't like talking to people about my problems. I internalize a lot of stuff, which is a problem. Obviously, with anxiety and depression, it is a big problem, but it's also, I don't like talking to people in general very often. I'm not a social person. If you see me in person, I will be nice, but internally I'm completely cringing, and my introvert definitely is like, no, we can't do that right now. That's not okay. Please, just walk away. Leave me alone. I know I participate in a lot of stuff in the community, and especially with military spouses. I do try and help other people out, but that's also because I know I can help other people with their stuff. I don't want help with my personal problems. My problems are mine. My husband is wonderful, and he does a lot to help me. And I think that's also why I don't ask for help a lot of times. I might have complete breakdowns here at home, and I'm good for a while. But my husband is my complete strength and rock. I love him so much. You'll probably hear me talk about him on a regular basis. I love my husband so freaking much. It was strange how we met, but he has been my rock through so many different things. We agree on a lot of our personality stuff, on our religious preferences. It's just been wonderful several years now that we have been together. We started out in some rocky roads with his life, being a single mom for me, but we've come a long way from there. My child thrives. I've thrived. He is thriving now. So getting back, this is going to be like a little intro video so that you guys can get to know who I am, what I'm about a little bit of background story for me, and then I will share with you guys an experience that I'm going to record later. I got a new app that I found through another YouTuber, Omar Gosh. Shout out to him. I don't know how to link stuff, but hopefully I will put a link somewhere, or at least in the description of the app that I'm using that is actually his app that he uses a lot of times. I will try to put the link on that so that if anybody wants to be able to use that app, it has been wonderful. I've loved it already. I've only used it a couple of times. But I'm going to do a video later that I'm going to upload after this one of doing a session. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes through. I know that there is a lot that has followed me over the years. So a little background. Getting past my personal stuff, my personal issues, my mental issues, all of that wonderful jazz. Background history for me, though, other than a little bit I've given to you guys within the last 5-10 years. Before all of this, other than this house, I've had quite a few experiences throughout my life of paranormal, whether that be from experiences with ghost sightings. I have seen quite a bit of things, seen orbs in person, seen lights, I've heard voices, I've caught voices on audio recordings before. I've had really odd things, especially when I do my photography things. I do enjoy going, of all things, I do enjoy going to cemeteries because there's some beautiful things in cemeteries to me. There's a beauty in some of the dark that's out there. I am a photographer, and I know that in the last 2 years, I got the chance to have photos from Auschwitz, and people were completely surprised of my photos because instead of making it dark and dingy and depressing, I gave them color, I gave them life, and brought the beauty from the darkness that can be humanity. But I've had some really dark experiences, which is also, you know, everybody, especially that has the same belief structure as I do. People that do know that there's another side, know that there's dark out there. I've had quite a few dark experiences. And most of this actually started back when I was in college. Freshman year of college, I actually was clinically dead for over 2 minutes. I stopped breathing. My boyfriend at the time was trying to resuscitate me, but I was gone. They resuscitated me in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, but I had not been breathing for quite a bit. Yes, I have brain damage from lack of oxygen multiple times. That's not the only time I have died. I've been clinically dead a couple of times now. I've had my heart stopped over 20 times. Joy, as some people in this community would say, that I have crossed that veil. The veil has been lifted for me. Because of my experience with the other side, I'm more in touch with that side. Whatever you believe, that's up to you. Personally, I do think that side, which is why I say what I say. Because ever since then, I've had much more experiences with the spirit world, with religious aspects of things. I am spiritual. I am not religious. Most people would call me a pagan or heathen or any matter of those things. Which, if you know me personally, I don't come off that way. I come off as being religious. I grew up in the church, so, you know, it's, I'm an enigma. Let's just put that simply. I have learned quite a bit through my years now, and with my connection to the other side, whatever you want to call it, it's opened my eyes up to a lot of different things, and I would love to show you guys that experience through my life now, going forward from now on. I want other people to know that it's not scary out there. In that side, yes, there are scary things out there. I've been scared. I have been, on a haunted bridge in the middle of the night, and where people have been murdered at, and heard screams, seen a black figure running at me, and I booked it out, have not gone back ever. I've had some really negative experiences that I will never go to those places again. It happens. When you are connected to the other side, there's good and there's bad. It's the same as in our realm, our world right now, that there's good people, there's bad people, there's sociopaths. They die. You know, sometimes they come back as spirits, sometimes they come back as poltergeists, sometimes there are very evil elements out there that have bad intents. I haven't had a lot of experience with bad intent, negative beings, negative spirits. I'm sorry, my brain decides to blank every now and then. Same way with words. Sometimes I won't remember what a simple word is, like window. I, for a whole moment, forgot what that thing over there is called, is a window. Sometimes I forget fork or spoon or the most mundane words that it's like, everybody knows these. I've had some really great experiences. I use a pendulum quite often for communication. For me, okay, so having had quite a few experiences, I would not say that I'm a medium or anything else of that nature. There's so many people out there that put themselves in that frame or profession or things of that nature. Yes, I've had ability to communicate for years now. I have done tarot readings for people that they come back to me a couple months later, a year later, and like, you're right. Which, it's great getting those confirmations. I know I'm right. If I actually have that feeling that I need to do this, there's a reason for it. This person needs to know something. So you need to know what's going on. You need this information. There's a sense of urgency, basically, within me that says, this needs to come across to you. So if I do that, which I don't do it often, but if I'm doing it, there's a purpose for it. I am glad that most of them are not dark. There was one that was somebody that I was doing it for someone else that I felt the urge that I needed to do this for them. And someone else, we were actually at a public type location at a park. And someone walked up and was like, well, can you give me one? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I don't do this for people, so I don't really want to. But as an introvert, I was like, sure, I guess I will. I'll give you a little reading, a small, little something, just to give you something. And so I did a reading for them. I did just a 5-card spread on them. I was going to do the full 7, 9, 15, 13, 11, whatever you choose to use sometimes. There's a lot of different versions that you can use. But I just did a simple 5-card spread. I was going to do a 3, and then I was like, no, I'm going to do a 5. Because there's something else, energy-wise, that I needed to do. And every single card came up negatively. I don't remember the cards that I spread for them, but I remember they were all negatively. The thing is I don't go off of what the card actually says usually. Yes, I will look up what it means, because yes, I don't have a very good memory, so I need to remember what they mean, so I use the book. Sorry, I use the book. My mind does not remember stuff anymore very often. But it's the feeling that I get off the cards. What I'm being told that it needs to be coming across for that card. What that card will mean then, in translation, for this person's life, their journey, their path, whatever might need to be said. But I know that part of it was self-harm, drug abuse. I didn't know this person at all, but I brought up self-harming, drug abuse, alcoholism, within their family, problems, relationship issues, all these super negative things for people. I didn't know this person at all, but the look on their face was, they were sheet white after I did the reading for them. And they're like, how could you know that stuff? Because what I brought up wasn't future stuff. It was actually current situation stuff that they've been dealing with. And I was like, well, obviously you have some life choices that you need to change. And you, from today, obviously you were meant to actually run into me. So that you would know that, for one, you're not alone. For two, somebody's watching and knows that you're not okay. And that you can do better. Somebody has, you know, a want for you to do better. And cares about you. And loves you. Even if it is from the other side. Somebody knows. So, I have used tarot cards. I have done medium type work, but it's very minimal. I can get readings off of people in person. I've done it a couple of times online, ironically. It's very odd doing that. And I have no idea how that worked. Because usually, for me, I really have to be in contact with the person, face to face, to really get a good feel and a read on people. But I tried it out, because there's all these online things. So I was getting paid to do this, and I was like, okay, I'll try and see. Because they had found me, and they said, you know, let's see what you are like, and see how well you can do for us. And I did 2 readings, and it scared the crap out of me too much, and I stopped. I actually said, I'm done, I don't want to be on here anymore. But the person that I was contacting, the first one, turned out they were more of a stalker type of person, because they were also the second person that I had talked to as well. And they weren't wanting a psychic reading, they were wanting a booty call. Or like the sex operator type of situation. And I was not going to have those types of conversations. Unfortunately, with certain things, that can happen, especially depending on what your job things are. There's crazies out there everywhere. Other than that, I've used a pendulum quite a bit. I have a couple of them. One of them broke because it got tangled up because of my cat. It got tangled up, and the chain actually broke on it. It was an older chain. I'm going to be trying to replace that one. I have one left, which that chain broke as well because they actually got tangled together, and one of them broke. The other one, the chain broke a little bit. I was able to fix it. It's not as long of a chain, which I don't like. I have very specified things that I like with my pendulums. But I use those quite a bit for communications. A friend of mine, an old friend of mine, I got readings for her a few times, and she was like, well, let me hold it and see if this is real. Unfortunately, we've never recorded that session, but it was really interesting having that experience of holding it, and for me, it's moving all over the place and going kind of haywire and communicating. She would literally touch it, and it'd stop. It just goes straight. Completely straight. And not move at all. I'd be holding it, it'd be moving, and I'd give it to her. I'd, like, stop it, give it to her, and it doesn't do anything at all, either. I don't know why. I have no clue why. Things happen for me. But I guess I got gifted. I know this is going to be a long video. I can already see that it's at... I can see my time. But I wanted to give you guys a nice intro to know who I am, some things about me. Sorry, I have my PlayStation on because my son and I were watching some YouTube videos, ironically. But, I want you guys to get to know a little bit about me before we get started. And then once I start doing recordings, hopefully, while I'm doing these things, maybe some more things will make sense as you watch further episodes. I will probably be linking this video quite often, or at least having it as one of my main videos that people can be able to see. And I'm going to have it as labeled as intro, so that if you want to get to know me, know a little bit about me, then here you go. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I do hope that you will watch my other videos that I'm going to be recording from here on out. Anybody that subscribes, thank you so much. I hope that you enjoy. Bye.